So at this point, I want to clean up my forms a little bit. Since I only have two inputs, what I can do is take these from size 4 and 4, make them size 6 and 6, and then take this extra space over here. Go back to my projects, my power selections, solar PV model, go from LG4 to LG6. Same for the number of solar PV panels. Change it to a 4 to a 6. And then if I go back to my projects, I'll notice that now it's taken the full length of this particular form section. It looks much nicer. So at this point, we'll move to automatically creating document lists and parts lists. I'll start off with the document list, go back to my project, go to my form for the PV power, and now I can start generating different documents based on the different model of the PV. So create an add, engineering output. So I'll say if it's a Canadian solar, I'll go to my docs, and then I'll add different docs that should be visible to the user if the user chooses this particular Canadian solar PV model. Create the add. This thing brings out all the different documents that we initially added to our catalog. Now, this is a very small list. You could have a very large list. The beauty of the platform is that everything is searchable and filterable. So, for example, I can just type in Canadian in the catalog, and I'll get all the individual documents that I put there. Similarly, if I want to go into tags and say I only want to see data sheet from Canadian Solar, I can kind of fine-tune it that way. So I'll take that out, and then I'll put all the 4 documents from Canadian Solar when that particular selection is selected. Save that. Now duplicate this. And then for the second Canadian Solar model, I'll go back to the spec sheet. Oh, it looks like I added both data sheets, so I'll delete this data sheet from here. And then for this particular model, the 300 ms, I'll leave the 300 ms in there, but I'll delete 305. And lastly, create a new documents for emission solar. Go back to here, go to my document list, and then I only want to see documents from emission. And then I have 3 documents for a warranty, installation manual, and data sheet. I'll add all 3 and save that. So once the user changes any of the solar PV model, accordingly the documents list will get updated. So test that out. I'll go back to my projects, go to my solar PV combiner, and then I'll notice since I have Canadian Solar 300 ms, I have these 3 documents, and the data sheet is for 300 ms. But if I change it to 305, the manual and warranty stay the same, but then the data sheet changes to this. Anytime I want to see a particular document, I can always just click on the download button, and it will download that particular file.